Alright, we got the 2 free multis for the Shion and Rimuru banner, so let's just pop these in during the ticket summon video as well. Got really lucky on one side of this banner, and got not so lucky on the other side, because we had to go to 200 pity to pull Rimuru. Unfortunate. We did pull 4 copies of Shion on the way, so she, with her free dupe, is at 116, so I only need one more dupe of her to get her maxed out. It'd be really cool if I could get, either of them in these 2 multis, but let's see if it carries over or not. Okay, well, 120 Shion, here we come, right? Okay, well, that's funny, sure. Or it could not be, it could be neither of them. We could pull, Light Milim, who I have yet to pull a dupe of on multiple banners now. Okay. Who's it gonna be? And is it gonna be last? Got the Chad Gale Gibson to bless the summons. Regard. Hakuro. We literally 120 Shion. Shit. She just won't leave me alone, man. How am I supposed to... Okay. Alright, Shion is 100% done. Cool. So now add her to the list of units I'm going to pull in the future that I can't use when she's back on a banner for something. Man, I'm actually going to be kind of sad if we don't pull Rimuru in the next multi. Because that means I'll have pulled 5 Shions in 220 pity, which is really great. Don't get me wrong, I'm not really complaining about that. But okay, we got a Dusk. Maybe I'll put this in front of the Shion showcase. Actually, maybe I'll do that instead. Yeah, well, we should probably do that. That way people are gonna be like, "Where did you go to 120 Shion? Where did you go back in the banner? Where's the video?" Like, well, okay, well, let's calm down. Okay, this looks to be a cooldown, but let's just go ahead and skip it. Okay, well, in 220 pity, we pulled 1 Rimuru off pity, and we have maxed out Shion. So, ain't that something? Let's get on with our showcase then, right? Good morning, everyone. Look at our beautiful 120 Shion. Yeah, so that happened. Let's do our showcase. I don't know what to say. This is the most crazy protector look I think I've ever had ever. But what does Shion do now that she's at 120? So she gives New Year's Blessing allies against Dark an extra 60% damage buff, and physical characters get 25% attack and defense. If Shion is not level 120, it will be 20% attack and defense, which is just fine. But one of her most interesting aspects is, at the beginning of each turn from turn 2 onward, increases your skill points by 30 4 times, can exceed cost limit. So from turn 2, 3, 4, and 5, she will passively give you 30 skill points. And it can go over the 100 skill cap, so you can theoretically have 130, 160, 190, 210 points if you never use a single skill the entire fight. It can do that. It's not really realistic, but it can happen. But it does make things a bit easy to plan ahead, because you're going to have more points than what you end up with at the end of the turn, because oranges don't give a lot of points. They don't give a lot of protection gauge by default. They just give you a lot of ult gauge, which is cool on a burst team, which is why all of the orange teams are burst. But at the same time, unless you're running Toa, who's giving you extra skill points, it's not as good because you just don't have a lot to do with. Her actual orb change is the 3 blues and 3 greens into 6 oranges, so allowing you to get a lot of ult gauge very quickly. She gives all physical allies guaranteed crit and guaranteed synergy, which is like 3 units in 1 right there. She's converting, she's critting, she's synergy, which makes her very, very powerful. I've already technically done a showcase video of her in Valor Cup. She's stupid strong. That video will go up not today, but probably within the next couple days. Here, we're going to showcase her on just, the New Year's team, and then leading a couple other physical-focused teams in the limited amount of stages we can run oranges. But I think she's a good protector, but because she's oranges, and because the game does not like oranges very often, I think her viability will fall off very quickly once this month is over. Because we're going to get, 3 green metas and 3 blue metas before we get another orange meta, probably. It's been 4 months since we had a last orange meta, so, put that in perspective. But let's test her out. Oh, also her trait. Her trait gives 8% attack because it's maxed out when 3 people have 75% or more HP, therefore also leaning into the whole burst. You're not in the stage long enough to go underneath 75% HP. But, let's begin. Alright, this is the first team we're going to use Shion with. It's, the meta team in the beatdown battle that she's meant for. We've got Shizu. She's got the ult resistance down and the skill reset. I don't know how effective the skill reset's going to be, but the ult resistance down for 2 turns is nice. We've got the new free-to-play Diablo. He's really only good on a New Year's Blessing team. Other than that, he's not great. We've got Fount of Wisdom Rimuru with an 80-point buff. It'll be pretty powerful. We've got the second anniversary Hinata, who's got the element buff for Rimuru, and then we've got, the new Rimuru as well. So this team is full of low cost, high cost, low cost, low cost. But because we're going to have so many additional points coming in every turn from Shion, we are able to use this as long as we play around with our buffs. So that's the only thing, is that in order to use this team at max capacity, you do need to be a little finicky with where units are and what they do and do not have. So let's jump in. Alright, so this beatdown starts with a very interesting hand. It's a 3-3. Diablo gives orbs away to the highest attacker, which means that Rimuru's in the back, he'll come up front, Diablo will give his 3 orbs away, and we'll have a 6-hand of Rimuru, which is really, really nice on turn 1, which gives us an ult, which therefore, this is why we're probably going to get a ult convert to orange, because it's the only one we don't have yet. We don't have an ult convert for orange, and this team desperately needs it. So here, we're looking fairly good. So when it pops up, 59 points? No, 89 points. So that's the extra 30 that we're getting per turn from Shion, which is nice because, obviously 30 extra points means you can do a little bit more than what you normally think you're going to do. So here, we're going to use the Rimuru buff now because it is, and it does last for multiple turns. And then we'll also use the rainbow orb change. So all of his orbs, these 3 orbs right here, will convert to rainbows. Boom. And then we'll use Shion to give him guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. And now that all these are orange, we have a 5-hand send plus, max gauge. We're going to get 55 points. Boom. We're at 79, which means that we'll be at 109 next turn because of the passive 30 points. And now we have the buff for Rimuru. That's active, 109 right there. We can go ahead and bring in Hinata, who's got the element buff for 40. So now we have 3 major buffs on Rimuru. We've got the light attack, his own weakness strike, and his own attack buff. And now we can just send him away because he's got his EX ult. He's done. He's ready to go. So here, we don't quite have another Shion, so we do need to push another turn. But we just really need to make sure we have enough points to use the 80-point skill from Fount of Wisdom Rimuru and the 25% skill from Shizu. You could also use the 25-point skill from Diablo because it's crit resistance down. It certainly would help, but it's not truly necessary, I would say. This is quite an interesting hand, though. I think we'll just go for points, actually. So we'll use the ult resistance down because it's good for 2 turns, right? Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll send these green orbs. Actually, no, something's not orbs. Get them out of here. Boom. So we're going to get up to 96 points next turn, plus a Shion. And I think we do need to push one more turn, actually. for points. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's reset the cost of those skills. We'll reapply the alt resistance down. And this will be the last turn that we get points from. But we will have enough now, because we'll have 130, and we need 105? 105 to use next turn, because we need the Diablo buff and we need the Rimuru buff. Because we just reapplied the alt resistance down, I think. Unless I'm crazy. Nope, there it is. Cool. We are ready to go. So, Rimuru will come in for Hinata, and he still has all his buffs active. And then we will bring in this Rimuru for Shizu, because she doesn't serve a purpose anymore. And we'll do the big time buff and the crit resistance down. And then we will activate Shion, and Rimuru will murderize Adelman by quite a bit. Quite a bit of damage. How much damage? 1 million damage. Good. 1 million damage in 5 turns. We could have, if we had a little bit better setup, we could have done it earlier than that. But I'll take 1 million damage in that amount of time. He's pretty good. Shion's pretty good. She enables you to do a lot of damage because she's double stacking buffs, or double applying buffs. And that in itself is very powerful, but it is only for physical characters. So just please keep that in mind. So obviously her in the new meta is very good. Let's take her off of the meta and try and put physical units with her on other stages that don't nerf oranges, and we'll see how well she actually performs there. Alright, the Fire 2.0 team. Definitely an orange-focused team. Now, we already get guaranteed crit and guaranteed pierce from Violet's first skill, but now we can add synergy onto it, and now she's getting triple buff right there. We're going to bring Benimaru, Hero, the skill-fused Fire Shizu, and then Guy, who is not skill-fused. So, burning, we're going to get the guaranteed crit, pierce, and synergy. We'll get the pierce power. We'll give away. There's a lot of things going on with this team. We're going to go into EX5 Clayman Tempered Edge, and I don't see why this team wouldn't work. I mean, it's still an orange-focused team. We're getting passive skill points now, which means that because oranges don't cycle very well, we're guaranteeing ourselves points every single turn, instead of maybe not getting anything because we can't use Toa because we don't have enough gauge. So this should work very well in theory. Alright, so turn 1, we gotta bring Benimaru in to some reason goddamn convert to greens and then burn him. But this will prevent him from binding us and poisoning us. So we cannot bring Violet in though, because he does put a crit nerf on, and we do not want that. So we'll just do this, 77 points, which means we'll have 107 on turn 2. Lots of points. This team is low cost for the most part. Quote unquote low cost. Alright, look at all those blues. Huh. Okay. Sure. What can we do? We can actually, okay. What can we do here? What are we gonna do here? We'll get Benimaru out, I guess. Okay. I think we just send the blues. So we're not going to get any points because we're over cap. So that's the thing, is that you can't magically increase from 107 to 150 or whatever, 130, just by sending orbs. But we can make it so next turn we're going to have 137 points. So let's just, I guess, hold and save them. Alright, there's a little bit of burn. Alright, we got 3 orbs here. Perfect. So now 137 points. We will go ahead and apply all of our stuff right here. So physical attack resistance down. We have so many points to use now because we've been stacking for 2 turns that we have a surplus. So we're going to use Shion here. Full hand of oranges. The giveaway to from Hero to Violet. Another stack of burn. And we still have 67 points. Like that is impressive in a lot of ways. So we're gonna get Hero out of here. We're going to use the Pierce buff. And now we're gonna get just we're gonna get an EX ult essentially for this. We've got max points, we've got another Shion, and because we're at max, we're gonna get 130 points next turn. which means that we don't have to swap out for, you know, Shion and Guy to use both their buffs. We can just use them all, and we're going to do a butt ton of damage. Alright, so crit, pierce, synergy. Synergy is also there, the pierce and crit is there, and now I think he's just dead. I think he's just dead. So we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we can do some instant damage with Benimaru because we have enough points to do that for funsies onesies. Boom. And 19k. Alright, not great, but it is what it is. We'll use Shion to get synergy and pierce. So looking at Violet, she has guaranteed crit, guaranteed pierce right here, 20% attack, pierce power from Shizu. We've got synergy rate down here and 50% fire attack. And then Clayman has an AoE debuff, which doesn't matter, 20% crit resistance down, 30% fire resistance down. And Violet here is going to do... you know what, we'll watch it, whatever. We can watch it. Nihilistic Vanish. She's going to do like probably 400k here or something like that. Maybe more? 257. Oh, that's not a lot. Okay. Alright, we still killed him though. 257, not as much. I mean, they're not big time buffs. It's not... We're not getting like crit damage and we're not getting synergy power. We got a little bit of pierce power, but still, I mean, we killed him in 4 turns. And that was hilariously easy. Right? We wasted a turn sending 4 blues and we still had butt tons of points to use. So, in a stage where oranges are not nerfed, works out really well. I mean, you can just not have anything happen for a turn. You could send a bunch of nerfed greens, and you would still get a guaranteed 30 points. And it would just help you along the way, because you get a little bit of extra gauge, you get something here and there, it would allow you to set things up a little bit easier, but you're guaranteed 30 points. You're guaranteed crit and synergy, which so far, synergy is not nerfed anywhere. It will be in the future, probably, but no one nerfs synergy yet. So it's always a buff that's going to be relevant, for now. Let's move on. Alright, as a fun little final ending to the Shion showcase, at least this part of it, we're going to build an entire blue team around Earth Goddamn Soe. One of the most disappointing units ever to grace this entire game since its release. We're going to go against Conquest Milim. Master Conquest Milim is a big-time wall for new players to beat because she is still absurdly strong because of her attack buff and pierce rate. So, we're going to just nuke it down. Soe is physical, which means that Shion will give him extra stats and will give him the guaranteed crit and synergy. Now, his other skill is he gives himself crit anyways, but if we can get 6 Hand of Oranges, I think we could look pretty good here, even though oranges are nerfed. I think we'll still do enough damage, and, even then, maybe we don't have to, and we can just change them all to blues. Call it good. Who knows? Let's find out. Alright, let's try and make this work, I guess. We'll use Shion's Orb Change. Blue Gauge Increase, it's the best one. I feel like that didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Oh well. Let's just do this. That will get us a Shion next turn. And, okay, counterattack isn't really bad right here because she doesn't have any of her buffs. So he's doing 8,000 right there. That's good damage. That's a lot of Soka orbs. Okay. I also didn't gear anybody properly. They may have gear on. I don't actually know. But he should have the highest attack though, right? So 13, 7. Let's how many points do we have? We have 57. Okay, so you know what? Let's do this. Let's do you out. We can change those, right? Those 2 greens. Yeah, okay, we're working. We'll use free-to-play Geld to come in and send all the blues to, I think it's going to be 12, 9, 13. Okay, yeah. Send them all to Soe. Boom. All to Soe. And then we'll change all of them, well, some of them to oranges, but most importantly, now Soe has the crit and synergy. So I think actually we just kill. I think we actually just kill. If not, then she will be extremely low. Oh, she's dead. Okay, there you go. Two-turn Master Milim. With a bunch of free-to-play characters and one of the worst units in the game. Let's check out the gear, just so I'm not, I can show you I'm not lying. I don't make a cut here. I mean, yeah, Master Milim is difficult for some players, and no, you may not have good gear. Okay, so she has her gear. He has, really good support gear. She has her gear, good support gear. He had no defense and no HP. She had good gear. He had just a jacket. She has good gear. And he had a jacket. And she has a jacket. So, I mean, yeah. Maybe it takes you 3 turns or something. Because, your Milim doesn't have as much stats. Because she's not 120. She doesn't have, 6-star Awakened gear. Maybe it takes you 3 turns. But, free to play. Free to play. Free to play. Free to play. She's technically not available right now because she came from the Warriors Mind EX meta. But all Sokka, Geld, and Reem are available in the shop. So, yes. Did Shion help us complete one of the harder stages for beginners? Yes. Did we use units who were not fully optimized? Yes. Do I call that a victory in any way, shape, and form? Yes. Shion is good. I never said she wasn't a good protector. However, if she was a green protector, I think she'd have a bit more longevity because oranges are nerfed on a number of stages and probably will continue to be nerfed when we move away from orange metas again for another 4 or 5 months. So, all in all, Shion will definitely help people out now. She'll help new players who don't have any other team to use, because just the raw power that you're getting from guaranteed synergy, guaranteed crit on any physical unit, of which there's quite a few, is enough to overpower a lot of the early game content. All of Conquest, probably all of Crucible. And that's, those are big sources of crystals and income and resources. So Shion will definitely get the job done. I just don't foresee her having too much usefulness outside of this month, except in Valor Cup, which that video will probably go up later today. What am I, Australian? She's very good there. Very, very good there. But that's it for the initial Shion showcase. Let me know what you guys think of her, but that's it for me. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you all later.